I want to start out today and tell something that some of you have heard me tell before, but it's very important to the topic for the afternoon. I am from a little old Mississippi town called Iuka, Mississippi. Iuka is about this big. Its only claim to fame is that it's where everybody used to run off to get married. It was an elopement center. You know, you'd be out on a date in a fit of passion, and somebody'd say, "We need to get married," and they would run off to Iuka. And the reason they went to Iuka was that it cost $1. They didn't care if you were 12, 13, 14, didn't make a bit of difference. There was no blood test, and there was no waiting period for you to come to your senses. You know, I mean, when you walked in there, you were married. And people came from everywhere to get married in Iuka. And the old man that married everybody, the Justice of the Peace, also owned the Texaco filling station. And during the week, he married them at the filling station, out there under the grease rack. You know, where it says lubrication. And then on Saturday, he would marry them at the courthouse. They'd open up the courthouse, and all of us kids, we didn't have anything else to do. And we go down there for our recreation to see them get married. And we stand outside. And if they had rice, we were part of the wedding party. I mean, it was a big deal. It was a large part of my cultural background. Now, here's the thing that I want to tell you, some things that are on my heart about this. I'm from this little Mississippi family, and we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. And when I say that, I mean that. I mean, we didn't have money at all. As a matter of fact, my daddy had a little phrase, and he would say, "We don't have cash money." Now, I realize that's redundant, okay? But let me explain what it means. If you don't have cash, it's bad. And if you don't have money, it's bad. But when you don't have cash money, you are toe up. I mean, that's a whole nother level of not having any money. And the reason we didn't have any money was that the economy was tied to cotton, and we didn't have any cotton land. And when you didn't have any cotton land, you didn't have any money. And my mother had a little phrase that some of you, especially from southern Indiana, will know, and that is that she would say, "We eat out of the garden." And what that meant was in the summertime, you had this big garden, and you put it up in fruit jars all during the summer, and that's what you had in the wintertime. And what that really said was, we don't buy stuff at the store. When you don't have cash money, you don't buy things at the store except flour, meal, coffee, sugar, and maybe at Christmas, vanilla or cocoa or something like that. Now, the thing about this that I want to share is that I travel across this country all the time and talk to groups and spend time with people just like you and in the community with teachers. And I have a feeling as I travel across this country that we have somehow gotten the idea that if you're poor, you're sorry. That if you're poor, you can't be somebody. That if you're poor, you can't be a good parent. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. And I resent that. Because I'm from a family that had as little as anybody I've ever known. I'll tell you something else. Somehow we have gotten the idea in this country that if your parents are not high school graduates or not college